has been an awakening. Have you felt it?
I don't care if Monday's blue, Tuesday's gray, and Wednesday too. Thursday, I don't care about you. It's Friday, I'm in love. Monday, you can
Folks, have you felt it? Force Friday, it's upon us. It's mere hours away. And when we will be able to get our mitts on Force Awakens merchandise. Can you feel the excitement in the air? I know I can. I'm about ready to relapse and go back to buying all Star Wars toys and starting my collection all over from scratch. Folks, my name is Ron. You're listening to Delusions of Granular, the Star Wars podcast where we talk about Star Wars each week, granularly. You can find all of our episodes at iTunes or Stitcher, or go to delusionsofgranular.com, and you can find all of our old episodes there. You can also follow us on Facebook at facebook.com/swdog, or on Twitter at swdog77. Or if you want to contribute to the show, give us your ideas for episodes, what have you, you can leave us a call on our hotline, 651-337-9364, or shoot us an email. That's swdog77@gmail.com. All right, folks, so this is a big moment for Star Wars fans. New merchandise going on sale at midnight on, Thursday night, Friday morning, really, 12:01 a.m. on Friday. And, wanted to take this episode to talk about, let's consider this the SW Dog Guide to Force Friday sales. Where to begin? Well, a couple of weeks ago, maybe a week and a half ago, Hasbro leaked their catalog of all the new Star Wars toys that's coming out, Hasbro's Ultimate Guide to the Galaxy. And I wonder how ultimate this is, because I was flipping through it. It's all over the internet, so you can kind of flip through it, and for a leak, it's pretty darn professional. So I think this was leaked on purpose, folks. I think Hasbro let this out just so everyone could get excited. And it has all your usual stuff that Star Wars fans come to expect from Star Wars toys from the lineup. We have the 3 3/4 inch figures. We have the 12-inch figures that we know. We have the Black Series figures, as well as all kinds of other things. I'm not going to run through everything, folks. You can find all of the catalog online at the various Star Wars sites, or just do a search for the Hasbro catalog and you'll find it. But I wanted to talk about some of the spoilers that are found in this catalog. Some of the people are worried about the movie getting spoiled for them, and I've never been concerned about spoilers. That's why I do the show. I want to be spoiled about everything. I want to know it all before I go in. It doesn't take away from my enjoyment of the film. I've always been that way about Star Wars. So I ask the people out there that are afraid of spoilers, what are they going to do? I think that we're going to be hit with a tidal wave of merchandise wherever we go. Our major stores that we shop in are just going to be inundated with merchandise, and it's, if you're wanting to go into this movie with blinders, it's going to be pretty hard to do so. So let's talk about the action figures first, because I think this is interesting. We have, folks, again, spoilers going into this. If you don't want to hear anything about Force Awakens, please turn off now. But going forward, just going to talk freely about everything. So let's talk about the action figures. The action figures, the lineup is pretty much what we can expect. We have a Finn, John Boyega character. We have Rey, Daisy Ridley, We have a Kylo Ren figure without a helmet that comes off. We have Poe Dameron, couple different figures. We have BB-8. We have, all the characters pretty much that we've heard about being in this movie. Captain Phasm, the new Stormtroopers, the new TIE Fighter pilots. And then we have, a couple new figures, new characters. Seeing some that Constable Vizio or whatever his name is. He's in there. We're seeing some older figures. We're seeing we're seeing a Bespin Luke from Empire. We're seeing a Darth Vader, supposedly from Return of the Jedi. People are speculating that they have action figures because they're going to be represented in the film as a flashback. I don't know. I don't think I believe that. I think that's just a way to get the older fans in there and maybe buy some merchandise for their kids because these are characters they know. It's all about brand familiarity. But and we have a Chewbacca, so we'll get a Chewbacca. We'll get an R2D2, a C-3PO, of course. We'll get pretty much all of the characters. Suspiciously not in this catalog is a age-appropriate Han Solo, Princess Leia, and Luke Skywalker. Interesting that they're not included in this lineup, or at least not represented in this catalog, which might possibly be the case. We don't know if this is the full lineup. I mean, it's a pretty extensive catalog, but who knows? We might not be seeing all of the characters, but I think it's pretty interesting. The big three aren't really represented in their older forms for this lineup. So very, very, very curious what that means. We're getting a new Millennium Falcon. Apparently, it comes with a Finn figure as well as a Chewbacca figure. A lot of people are saying, well, that's a big spoiler. Where's the captain of the Millennium Falcon? Han Solo himself. Is it because he dies in the movie? Is it because he's no longer the captain of the Millennium Falcon? I don't know. It's kind of interesting how this information is coming out. We can all say, "Oh, spoiler this," but they've done such a good job of this campaign that, or lack of advertising campaign, that the more we know, the less we know. We still don't know. Right? So, what else can I say about this? We're getting some older, familiar toy lines coming back. Micro Machines. If you're a child of the 90s, you might remember these tiny little toys, little ships, little play sets that came out. We're going to get those renewed. Me being an older fan, I was never really into the Micro Machines thing, but I know this was big for the younger fans that came into the movies a little bit later. So that's exciting for them. We're getting the lightsabers, of course. We're getting some different types of lightsabers. That'll be interesting. A Blade Builders lightsabers, which just looks ridiculous. We're getting a Furbaka. This is a cross between Chewbacca and Furby, which just, well, folks, I don't know how to say it other than it just looks ridiculous. I don't think I will be purchasing that. That may end up being a peg warmer. We'll see. But, I'm sure some people will be into that. But, yeah, so along with that, that's pretty much all I'm going to cover off on the Hasbro catalog. Like I said, you can find it for yourself online if you want to do so. Also leaked suspiciously, officially, I suppose, is the Lego sets they were getting. And, again, nothing really new here. So some hints at new characters here and there. But I don't know. I think that what we're seeing is, other than, like the main characters that kind of have been already told to us, I don't think we're getting anything of substance here. We're not getting anything that's really going to spoil the movies. We're not getting the Maz Katana character, whatever the CGI character that is, the Snope or Slope or whatever his whatever what's his name Gollum is playing. We're not getting him, so I think there's still a lot of stuff in the shadows, even though we're getting new toys. It's still a lot of stuff out there that they're just not telling us. So anyway, like I said, this was our guide to the shopping. So let's talk about the stores that are going to be participating in this. Now, as I said, a lot of the stores that are participating in this are opening up at 12:01 a.m. on Friday morning. That is actually, Thursday night for most people. So I'm curious how many folks are actually going to be out there and waiting in line. I know I'll be driving by periodically and seeing what kind of lines are going to be happening for these toys. I'm very, very curious because last time we had lines for this stuff was back in 1999 with Phantom Menace, and some people say that those movies were failures, and the excitement for Star Wars has died down. Has JJ and Kathleen Kennedy and crew managed to generate enough excitement to get us to line up early for a movie, to buy toys for a movie that's not even out for another few months? I don't know. In this day and age, do we even have to line up outside, or can we just go to Amazon and buy stuff? I don't know. I know I'll be checking it out because I'm curious and I'm excited, and I want to see the Star Wars fans out there, if there are any. I want to connect with them and see what they think about all this, because I'm very curious. I talk at you folks all the time. I talk to you guys, one-on-one, offline, on the internet, and I still don't have a great read for what the excitement is for this movie. So hopefully I'll be able to run into some fans out there, some hardcores, and unite with them and see, get their take on things. But anyway, the stores. So the stores I know that are doing stuff are basically Walmart, Target, Toys R Us, and Disney stores, of course. Okay, so let's start with the big three. The big three being Target, Walmart, and Toys R Us, because they have actually been promoting themselves as they're going to be open 12:01 a.m. So we know that Walmart is going to be open. We know that Walmart is going to be giving out a trading disc game called Connections with 2 X's because it's sci-fi. So these look like not octagon, some type of polygon shape discs, kind of like collector's trading cards. Looks like, from what I'm seeing on the internet, mostly old Star Wars represented, the old trilogy as well as the prequel trilogy. I'm not seeing a lot of new stuff for Force Awakens, so this will be interesting. Obviously, they're trying to promote a new trading card / game. They're going to give it out to the first 500. Oh, nope. Let me take that back. They're going to be giving these things out to, I guess, everyone. I don't know if there's a limit to how many of these things are giving out, but Walmart is saying that there's going to be 500 new Star Wars products in the stores. So, like I said, folks, you're not going to be able to walk into a Walmart without having something spoiled for you, right? So, that's Walmart's plans. I do not actually have a Walmart near me, so I will not be checking out what Walmart has in store. I guess I'll miss out on these trading discs. But I'm sure there'll be plenty of other things I'll be checking out. So that is Walmart. If you're near Walmart, check your listings to see if the store near you is open and if you want to go. Let's move on to Target. Target is going to be open at 12:01 midnight as well. 207 of their stores are, so you'll have to check their website to see if they're going to be participating in the Force Awakens or Force Friday hullabaloo. Looks like they are going to definitely be in pardon my pun, full force as far as Star Wars goes. They're going to have a huge aisle dedicated to Force Awakens. I'm curious where this is. I've been scoping out my Target almost daily to see where they're going to be putting this stuff up, and I'm not entirely sure where it's going to go. Part of me wants to think that it's going to be in the seasonal area, usually where the Halloween candy is put out, or the Easter candy, or the when they put out the Christmas trees. I don't know. Does Force Awakens count as an official holiday? Does Force Friday count as an official holiday to take up that space? They should be putting out Halloween stuff by now, right? I mean, oh my God, it's September 1st. But it looks like you're not going to be able to get away from it at Target. As soon as you walk through the doors, you'll see Star Wars, even on the doors. They're going to be putting clings up of our favorite Star Wars characters and ships and whatnot. So expect Target to have a big deal going on. I know, like I said, I've been in my Target. Even the cashier checkouts, the conveyor where we put our products, they've managed to take the conveyors and actually have printed on them almost like the Star Wars crawl from the beginning of the movies. It's almost like that on the conveyor belts, and it's telling the patrons, the customers, that Star Wars Force Friday is happening. So my Target that I go to very regularly is going to be participating, so I will definitely be checking this out at 12:01 a.m. I'm not sure if they're going to have any kind of real merchandise giveaways, kind of store exclusives, but they do have. Looks like they're going to have events going on throughout the weekend. So if you're not able to hit up the stores, at 12:01 on Force Friday, but you do your regular shopping throughout the weekend, and Target is one of your stops, then you may be seeing some Star Wars stuff happening, especially on Saturday. Saturday's being billed as Share the Force Saturday, so it looks like they're going to have some social media stuff going on, looks like some photo opportunities. Maybe we'll see even some people dressed up. Who knows? But Target definitely is on board. Toys R Us. Toys R Us is the other one that I will be hitting up. They're relatively close to me in vicinity to each other. Target and Toys R Us, that is. So I know that my Toys R Us has had a countdown clock in the toy aisle for quite some time now, counting down to 12:01 a.m. Right now, as I record this, we're 3 days, 4 hours, 41 minutes, and 25 seconds away. So do the math when I'm recording this, folks, and you'll figure out how prepared I am for this. I did notice that when I perused the toy aisles a few weeks ago, and this counter was put up, had the completely wrong time on it. So check your Toys R Us to see if they're accurate. But sounds like Toys R Us is going to be also giving away some exclusive stuff. I think you'll be able to get a poster, and I think they're even having some type of contests going on the rest of the weekend. Maybe come there and have your kids dressed up as their favorite Star Wars characters, and just take the time to celebrate Star Wars, because, well, might as well be good enough to be a official holiday, right? All right. Last but not least, we have the Disney Store. Now, the Disney Store is handling things a little bit differently. They are not actually going to be open at 12:01. They are closing sometime on September 3rd, and whatever they're doing, they're going to be changing the store into a Star Wars store. So we'll be definitely checking that out as well. I'll have to do a little bit more scouting around to find my Disney store near me, but I definitely want to check them out because Disney owns everything Star Wars now, so why wouldn't they go all out for Force Friday? So So I think that runs down the everything that's going on for the stores. Now let's talk about if you're not really into going out and shopping, maybe you're a hermit and you don't want to really go out and buy things. Maybe your wallet is a little hurting right now, and you don't want to just can't afford things, folks. It's a realistic concern. Some of us have more important things to be buying, but you still want to see the toys. You still want to see all the excitement. You still want to see these new characters, right? Well, first time in history, StarWars.com is going to be having an unboxing event. They're going to, for 18 hours, folks, they're going to be unboxing all of the new Star Wars merchandise across, I want to say it's like 12 or 15, I'm sorry, I'm reading it right now. 18 hours, 15 cities, 12 countries. Across the globe, they're doing this huge unboxing video. It's going to roll out city by city, country by country. I'm not entirely sure when it starts. I know it starts in Australia, so whatever time that is over here in the States, I'm not entirely sure, but I'm going to definitely be checking out. It's going to be happening live on Star Wars YouTube channel, which I believe is youtube.com/Star Wars. So, yeah, we're going to have just people opening up merchandise and I guess displaying it, playing with it. I don't know. It's our chance to watch other people play with toys and live vicariously through them, if that's all we can do, right? But when I first read this, I read it wrong, and I thought they were saying that some celebrities were going to be unboxing these characters. I was like, oh man, are we going to see like a Harrison Ford open up a Han Solo character? Are we going to see a Mark Hamill open up a Luke? But it looks like it's internet celebrities, folks. So nothing to take away from internet celebrities, but I think it'll be a little bit more casual than having Han Solo or Harrison Ford in Sydney, Australia, opening up a Han Solo character. He probably has a little bit more important things to be doing, but I don't know. It'll be interesting. I will definitely try to catch, well, not 18 hours of it, because oh my God, right? But I'll definitely be checking it out. Hopefully I'll be able to even check out the grand finale, which is happening at Lucasfilm in San Francisco. So there we go. That is going to be another event that's happening for Force Friday. Well, let's talk about a few other things. So what else are we getting on Force Friday? Well, if you've been to a store, we've already gotten a few things coming out early, and some of it is leaked, obviously. Some of the stores have been like, I'm just going to accidentally put some stuff out ahead of time. So I know I've been seeing a lot of people already with some of the merchandise in their hands. There's even been some videos on YouTube of people already unboxing the figures. So it's out there. If you're lucky enough, you've caught it. I personally have not caught it, but I did manage to pick up a couple of the Disney Infinity characters or figurines that go along with the game. I'm not entirely sure how to play the game, but I'm really I like the style of these figurines, so I think I'll be picking up some more of those. Pick those up. They came out on the 29th or 30th of August, so a little bit early ahead of Force Friday. But so some new merchandise is already out there. But what I'm really looking forward to, aside from all the cool new toys and stuff, is the new stories that we're getting, folks. We're getting new official canon that not only is of canon that counts, but it counts in that it takes place in a time period that we're all very excited about. It's beginning, folks, the journey to The Force Awakens. And we're getting the very first book, Aftermath, which is picks up right after Return of the Jedi. I've already pre-ordered my copy. We're also getting some, I believe they're junior books, junior readers books. I'm not entirely sure what these really are, but they're written by a Mr. Greg Rucka, who I'm familiar with. He's written some comic books that I've really been enjoying. Also, they're also written by another gentleman who I mentioned in the last episode, Jason Fry. Jason Fry, if you recall, has written a few of the short stories that have appeared in Star Wars Insider. So it looks like he's continuing on with his authoring of Star Wars adventures. So that's exciting. Looks like these are going to be books that are somewhat illustrated, somewhat prose. Not entirely sure. Like I said, I've pre-ordered my copies on iTunes. They give you a kind of a sneak preview, but really all it is a cover. Looks like we're going to get a Han Solo story, a Luke Skywalker story, a Princess Leia story, as well as a book that I'm really not entirely sure if it's even if it's an adult novel, if it's a young adult novel. I'm not entirely sure if it's a junior novel, but it's called Lost Stars. It falls under the Journey to the Force Awakens titles. It has a great cover of looks like not sure if it's the Star Destroyer that crashes on Jakku, but it definitely has a Star Destroyer kind of going down in flames with the Rebel insignia as well as the Imperial insignia behind it. So definitely looking forward to that, and gonna try to read these really quickly and kind of give you my thoughts on these in future episodes. So very, very excited about that. More to come on those. And then finally, the last book we're getting, well, not on Friday, but the Wednesday after that, the comic book day after that, is the new comic, Star Wars Shattered Empire, which again takes place, it falls under the Journey to Star Wars The Force Awakens, and this is taking place after the events of Return of the Jedi, so this will be an exciting thing to cover off on, and I definitely will be talking about that very soon. Alright folks, finally, the last thing that I wanted to cover, something that I assume that we're still getting on Force Friday, but I'm not entirely sure, is the Star Wars iOS game, Star Wars Uprising. Now this, folks, I've managed to see the new timeline for all the new Star Wars canon events, and this is taking place, I believe, right after Return of the Jedi as well. New characters. I'm looking at the poster of it right now. It doesn't look like anybody, any characters that are familiar, although similar looking. Looks like we have a Trandoshan Bosk type character. Looks like we even have some type of Super Trooper or Darth Vader looking character. But this is new canon. Apparently, this is a video game, but it is in canon, and it is supposed to be coming out in September. So is it hitting us on September 4th for Force Friday? Not entirely sure, but clear off your mobile devices and make room for this game, because I think this is going to be a big one, and don't want to miss it. So that is what I have for the SW Dog Guide to Force Friday. Like I said, folks, my name is Ron, and I'm your host for Delusions of Granular. I hope to see some fans out there on the streets of Chicago on Thursday night, Friday morning, waiting in line, anxiously awaiting to throw down their hard-earned dollars and purchase new Star Wars merchandise. I'm in Chicago. I record from Chicago. I will be near the Logan Square area. If folks, you're familiar with that area, look for me. I'll be around, and I'll be introducing myself if there's any Star Wars fans out there. And until on the other side of Force Friday, stay granular.
Dressed up to the eyes, it's a wonderful surprise to see your shoes and your spirits rise. Throwing at your frown, just smile at the sound. Sleek as a sheet, spinning round and round. Always take a big bite, such a gorgeous sight to see you eat in the middle of the night. You can never get enough of this stuff. It's Friday, I'm in love. I don't care if Monday's black, Tuesday, Wednesday, heart attack, Thursday, never looking back. It's Friday, I'm in love. Monday, you can hold your head. Tuesday, Wednesday, stay in bed. Or Thursday, watch the walls instead. It's Friday, I'm in love.